14th of October, President Donald Trump announced that the US had executed a strike on a boat carrying 6 suspected drug traffickers off the coast of Venezuela. The announcement, made on social media, provided little evidence for the president's claim that they were targeting terrorists. The act was reportedly carried out in international waters and killed everybody on board. This strike was the 5th such one on a vessel allegedly carrying drug traffickers. Several more have been reported even since the start of this production, and over 10,000 troops have now been positioned outside Venezuela. But has the US completely disregarded the international order? Or is what we're seeing just a new manifestation of violence? Whatever the case, the US look to be sinking their claws deep into their southern neighbours. Donald Trump is no stranger to sticking his fingers in pies, or even McDonald's Happy Meals. But what is unusual about recent events is that they seem to go against the peacemaker image that he wants to cultivate. He has had remarkable success in the peacemaking process with Iran and Israel, and even tried to challenge arguably the West's biggest threat at the moment, Russia. But is Trump really willing to invade Venezuela? Or is this simply drug enforcement?
Hard to tell, I think. It could be either of those. It could be simply an effort to intimidate. There's a long history of American intervention in Central America and Latin America. I guess I should say Latin America more broadly. And this certainly fits into that long history.
Trump has greenlit CIA involvement in Venezuela in an attempt to force out cartel-linked President Nicolas Maduro, but has refused to comment on whether they've been authorized to assassinate him. The country's in the midst of an economic crisis, with the GDP per capita plunging by 30% in 2019 and never recovering. There's been massive migration recently, leaving the country vulnerable to corruption and crime. In 2018, Maduro survived an assassination attempt, which he maintains, without good evidence, involved the US. Is Trump coming back to finish the job?
I mean, I don't know how willing he really is to get involved militarily. I mean, I guess we'll see about this. There must be considerable disagreement within the Trump administration about getting involved militarily. I mean, there's certainly a wing of MAGA that doesn't want to have anything to do with foreign intervention. But Trump has made no secret of being an enemy of the Maduro regime, and the idea that he might be involved in regime change efforts wouldn't be at all surprising, I think.
Assassinations might seem to go against the norms of the international order, but the US has long carried them out. Regardless of the politics of the president, US administrations have always been quick on the trigger. As far back as JFK, we've seen how presidents were quick to plot covert operations against their enemies. Figures as high profile as Fidel Castro had targets on their back. Things really ramped up when Obama came into office. He took up the sticks and cemented drone killings as regular procedure. There were 122 drone strikes in Pakistan alone in his first full year in office, compared to only 4 under Bush 3 years prior. More significantly, the US assassinated Osama bin Laden in 2011. Noam Chomsky, a prominent critic of this move, suggests that the US should and could have extracted him without killing him. So the precedent has long been set. But even if it's working, is all this violence really justified?
It looks on the face of it patently illegal and immoral. If indeed the targets are drug smugglers, and we don't really have evidence of that yet. I mean, the Trump administration has not produced such evidence, but if that's what's going on, then this is the kind of thing that's within the realm of the police force or the Coast Guard in this case to handle. And even if they are combatants, there's still a principle of necessity. You have to be able to argue that the taking out the particular combatant was necessary for the war aim, and in that case as well, it seems hard to imagine that it was justified. So, in which case, it looks like extrajudicial killing. It looks like the kind of thing that a cop does when he kills a drug dealer who isn't pointing a gun at him. And if somebody isn't pointing a gun at you or isn't otherwise armed to do so, and doesn't seem to be intending to do so, then they're not usually considered to be combatants, and firing on them and killing them is a war crime.
We like to think that we live in a time of strong laws and institutions. Historians and academics make a living out of describing current affairs with this terminology, but the real world often looks very different. We've seen how one event can be seen in several different ways. Trump is far from consistent in his policy, but mounting tensions south of the US warrant monitoring. Whether we see an invasion or just more strikes, we'll have to wait to see just how resilient Maduro's regime is.